Did you know that a simple $1 box of baking soda could be the most powerful medicine in your home? While pharmaceutical companies push expensive treatments, this common household item has been quietly revolutionizing healthcare for decades. From Olympic athletes boosting their performance to cancer researchers studying its effects on tumor cells, baking soda's medical potential is nothing short of extraordinary. What if I told you that this humble powder could help prevent kidney disease, reduce inflammation, and even improve your brain function? The science behind it is fascinating, and the results are transforming lives worldwide. In this eye-opening series, we'll uncover the hidden chemistry that makes baking soda a medical powerhouse, backed by cutting-edge research and real-world success stories. Your health journey might never be the same after learning these life-changing secrets. Stay tuned, hit subscribe, and join us on this remarkable journey to better health. Don't forget to like and share this video if you want your loved ones to discover this game-changing information too. 1. You might think the story of medicine is all about high-tech labs and complex chemical discoveries. But what if one of its most profound secrets has been hiding in your kitchen pantry all along? The journey of simple baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, from an ancient remedy to a forgotten medical tool, is one of the most astonishing in history. Let's travel back to a time of great fear, the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. While the world was reeling, one U.S. Public Health Service physician, Dr. Volney S. Cheney, observed something remarkable. He noted that those who were treated early with large doses of baking soda to alkalize their bodies rarely succumbed to the disease. His protocol was straightforward: prevent the severe acidosis that accompanied the pneumonia and viral attack. While his colleagues saw staggering death tolls, his patients recovered. This wasn't a fringe theory. It was a clinical observation during one of humanity's worst plagues. But then, a new era dawned. With the arrival of antibiotics like penicillin, medicine shifted its focus from balancing the body's internal environment to attacking external germs. The simple, unpatentable baking soda was quietly pushed aside. So why isn't this common knowledge? Why don't doctors routinely discuss its potential? The answer isn't a conspiracy, but a matter of economics. Sodium bicarbonate is a natural compound that can't be patented. There is no financial incentive to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the large-scale clinical trials required for official approval, when anyone can buy it for $1. Modern science is just beginning to catch up to what those early clinicians observed. The story of baking soda is a story of a powerful tool that became lost, not because it was ineffective, but because it was too simple and too cheap. We've been taught to look for complex solutions, but the answer might lie in restoring a fundamental balance that nature put in place. Before we meet again, here's something to think about. What does a car battery leaking acid, a lemon slice, and the burning sensation in your muscles after a workout all have in common? The answer to that question is the very key to unlocking why this simple white powder can have such a profound impact on your health. 2. Your body is fighting a war you can't see, and it's losing. Every day, with every meal, every stressful moment, every breath of polluted air, acid floods your system. Your blood must stay at a precise pH of 7.4 or you die. So your body makes a desperate choice. It steals from your bones and muscles to keep you alive. This isn't dramatic hospital-level acidosis. This is chronic, low-grade metabolic acidosis, a silent thief that operates below the radar of standard medical tests. Think of it like a slow leak in your roof. You don't notice it until the ceiling caves in. When you eat foods that create acid, processed foods, excess sugar, too much meat, your body needs alkaline minerals to neutralize that acid. What does it find them? It strips calcium and magnesium directly from your bones. This isn't theory, it's survival. Over decades, this bone robbery is a primary cause of osteoporosis. Your skeleton literally dissolves itself to keep your blood stable. But your bones aren't the only victims. Your muscles become casualties too. To fight acid, your body breaks down muscle tissue to release glutamine, an amino acid your kidneys use to create ammonia, a powerful alkaline compound that neutralizes acid in your urine. Research from Tufts University shows this process directly contributes to sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that makes older adults frail and dependent. This constant biological theft has another cost. Your energy crashes. When your cells become acidic, they can't produce energy efficiently. It's like trying to run a car engine with dirty oil. Everything slows down. That persistent tiredness, that feeling of running on empty that doctors dismiss as normal aging, it's not normal. It's your body crying out for alkaline balance. The damage doesn't stop there. This acidic environment creates the perfect breeding ground for chronic inflammation, the root cause of arthritis, heart disease, and countless other age-related conditions. Your joints ache because acid-stress tissues become inflamed and painful. Here's what most people don't realize. You can turn this around. Your body wants to heal, but it needs the right tools. The solution isn't complicated, but it requires understanding how your digestive system, the entry point for everything you consume, either helps or hurts this delicate balance. When you eat alkaline-forming foods like leafy greens, vegetables, and certain fruits, you're not just getting vitamins and minerals. You're giving your body the alkaline reserves it desperately needs. Instead of robbing your bones and muscles, your body can use these dietary minerals to neutralize acid. Your bones stay strong, your muscles stay intact, and your energy returns. The most powerful change you can make is simple. Fill half your plate with vegetables at every meal. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale are alkaline powerhouses. So are broccoli, cucumber, and bell peppers. These foods don't just provide alkaline minerals. They also contain compounds that help your kidneys eliminate acid more efficiently. Lemon water, despite tasting acidic, actually becomes alkaline in your body. Start each day with warm water and fresh lemon juice. It's one of the easiest ways to support your body's alkaline balance. Cut back on the biggest acid producers, processed foods, excess sugar, and too much animal protein. You don't need to eliminate them completely, but balance is key. For every serving of meat, add 2 servings of vegetables. For every processed snack, choose a piece of fruit instead. Your breathing matters too. Deep, slow breathing helps eliminate carbonic acid through your lungs. When you're stressed and breathing shallow, you're actually making your body more acidic. Take 5 minutes each day to breathe deeply and slowly. It's free medicine. Sleep is your body's repair time, including acid elimination. Poor sleep disrupts this process, making you more acidic. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Your bones, muscles, and energy levels will thank you. The changes you'll notice aren't subtle. Within weeks, many people report better energy, less joint pain, and improved sleep. Within months, bone density tests often show improvement. Your body has a remarkable ability to heal when you stop forcing it to choose between survival and strength. This isn't about perfection. It's about giving your body what it needs to thrive instead of just survive. Every alkaline choice you make is an investment in your future strength, energy, and independence. Your body has been fighting this war alone for too long. It's time to join the fight on the right side. 3. Your gut bacteria are like tiny workers in a factory, and they need the right conditions to do their job well. When your body becomes too acidic, these helpful bacteria can't survive. It's like trying to grow a garden in polluted soil. Nothing good will grow. This creates a domino effect throughout your entire body. The bad bacteria and yeast take over, making you feel tired and foggy. Your intestines become inflamed, which means even if you eat healthy foods, your body can't absorb the nutrients properly. You might be eating all the right things, but still feeling run down because your internal system is broken. Here's what most people don't realize. Your gut is directly connected to your brain through what doctors call the gut-brain axis. When harmful bacteria dominate your digestive system, they send stress signals straight to your brain. This is why you might feel anxious, depressed, or mentally foggy for no obvious reason. It's not all in your head. It's actually starting in your gut. A simple daily routine can help turn this around. Mix 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water and drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This helps create a more balanced environment where your good bacteria can thrive again. Research shows that baking soda doesn't just neutralize acid, it actually tells your immune system to calm down and stop overreacting. This reduces inflammation throughout your entire body, not just in your stomach. Many people who try this simple morning routine notice improvements in their energy levels and mental clarity within just a few days. Their digestion improves, but more importantly, they feel sharper and more alert because the communication between their gut and brain is working properly again. Your gut controls about 70% of your immune system, produces many of the same chemicals that regulate your mood, and determines how well you absorb vitamins and minerals from food. When you take care of your gut health, you're taking care of your whole body. Start with that small amount, 1/8 teaspoon, and pay attention to how you feel over the next week. Many people are surprised to discover that this simple change affects much more than just their digestion. They sleep better, think more clearly, and have more energy throughout the day. 4. Your doctor tells you to avoid sodium at all costs. It's the first rule of kidney disease management. Yet a groundbreaking 2009 study from the Royal London Hospital found that giving kidney patients a specific form of sodium actually slowed their disease progression by 2/3. This contradiction sits at the heart of one of medicine's most overlooked discoveries. The study followed 134 patients with advanced chronic kidney disease. Half received standard care. The other half got standard care plus a small daily dose of sodium bicarbonate, common baking soda. After 2 years, only 6.5% of the baking soda group progressed to kidney failure, compared to 33% in the control group. That's better than many expensive medications. So why isn't every kidney doctor prescribing this? Because they see the word sodium and stop listening. Decades of training have drilled one message into their heads. Sodium equals high blood pressure equals kidney damage. But they're missing a crucial distinction. Table salt contains sodium chloride. The chloride is the real troublemaker. Sodium bicarbonate works completely differently in your body. When your kidneys start failing, acid waste builds up in your blood. Your kidneys have to work overtime producing bicarbonate to neutralize this acid. It's like forcing an exhausted worker to build their own tools before they can even start their job. Giving bicarbonate directly takes this burden off your kidneys. Instead of manufacturing bicarbonate, they can focus on their main job, filtering toxins. It's not about adding more sodium to your system. It's about giving your kidneys the exact chemical they desperately need. A retired mechanic from Ohio discovered this when his kidney function was plummeting. His doctor was preparing the dialysis conversation. The mechanic found the London study and brought it to his nephrologist. Too much sodium, the doctor said dismissively. But the mechanic persisted, showing the specific dosage and results. Reluctantly, the doctor agreed to monitor him closely. Over the next year, his decline didn't just slow, it stabilized. He never needed dialysis. Clinics in Italy and the UK have quietly used these protocols for years. They found that managing the body's pH can preserve kidney function for years, pushing dialysis far into the future or eliminating it entirely. But there's no pharmaceutical company funding massive trials on a substance that costs pennies per dose. The resistance isn't based on science. It's based on dogma. A simple substance with published evidence of its benefits gets systematically ignored because it doesn't fit the current medical model. This raises an uncomfortable question. What other simple solutions are we overlooking? Not because they don't work, but because they challenge what we think we know. If something this basic can take such a significant burden off your body's filtration system, shouldn't you at least discuss it with your doctor? The conversation might be uncomfortable, but your kidneys are worth fighting for. 5. Picture your immune system as a home security company that's gotten way too jumpy. In rheumatoid arthritis, it's like having security guards who keep mistaking your own family members for burglars and calling in the SWAT team every single night. The result? Your joints get caught in the crossfire of this constant false alarm. For years, doctors have tried two approaches. Either drug the security system into a coma with heavy-duty suppressants, or just keep cleaning up the damage with painkillers. But what if you could simply pick up the phone and tell the command center to calm down? That's exactly what researchers at Augusta University discovered in 2018. They found something that sounds almost too simple to be true. When healthy people drank plain baking soda mixed with water, it sent a direct message to their spleen, which is like the main dispatch center for your immune system. Here's what happened next. The spleen started changing its orders. It told the aggressive attack cells, think of them as the SWAT team, to stand down. At the same time, it called them more the cleanup and repair crew. Instead of destruction, the body shifted into healing mode, all from drinking baking soda water. Now let's talk about gout, because most folks get this completely wrong. Yes, those sharp uric acid crystals in your joints hurt like hell. But here's the thing. The crystals themselves aren't what's causing most of your agony. It's your immune system going absolutely berserk when it sees those crystals, like calling in airstrikes to deal with a few ants in your kitchen. When you use baking soda to send that calming signal to your spleen, you're essentially telling your immune system to treat those crystals like the minor irritation they really are, not like a 5-alarm emergency. Plus, baking soda makes your body more alkaline, which helps dissolve uric acid, so it's less likely to form crystals in the first place. You're hitting the problem from both ends. This same principle works for any autoimmune condition where your body is attacking itself. Instead of using pharmaceutical sledgehammers that can mess with your liver, kidneys, and immune system, you're having a quiet conversation with your body's defense network. You know what's really frustrating? This research was published in a top-tier medical journal, done by university scientists, and it should have been headline news. But here's the reality check. When a solution costs less than your morning coffee and can't be patented, it tends to get buried under an avalanche of more profitable treatments. Think about it this way. That same acid buildup causing chaos in your joints is what makes your muscles scream after a tough workout. The inflammation that's destroying your cartilage is the same process that makes you feel like you've been hit by a truck some mornings. The beautiful thing about addressing this at the root level is that you're not just putting a Band-Aid on symptoms. You're actually helping your body remember how to maintain its own balance. Your immune system isn't broken. It's just gotten confused and needs a gentle reminder of who the good guys are. This isn't about replacing your doctor or throwing away your medications. It's about understanding that sometimes the most powerful solutions are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to ask the right question. What if the problem isn't that your body is broken, but that it's simply out of balance? 6. Picture this. You're watching the Olympics, and a cyclist just crushed the competition in a grueling sprint. Later, you hear whispers that their secret weapon might trigger a false positive on certain drug tests. Yet it's sitting right there in your kitchen cabinet next to the flour. Sounds impossible, right? Here's what's really happening inside your muscles every time you climb stairs or carry groceries. Your muscle cells are like tiny power plants, burning fuel to create energy. But here's the catch. This process creates waste, specifically something called lactate. Now, most people think lactate is the villain causing that burning sensation, but they're wrong. Lactate immediately breaks apart, releasing hydrogen ions, and those hydrogen ions are the real troublemakers. Think of hydrogen ions like acid rain falling inside your muscle cells. As they accumulate, they make your muscles more acidic, which shuts down the very enzymes that produce energy. It's like trying to run a car engine while someone keeps turning down the power. That sudden wall of fatigue you hit, that's your muscles drowning in their own acid. Elite endurance athletes figured this out decades ago. Before major competitions, many of them practice something called bicarbonate loading. They take measured amounts of sodium bicarbonate. Yes, plain old baking soda, because it acts like a chemical sponge, soaking up those excess hydrogen ions. A study in the International Journal of Sports Nutrition showed that trained cyclists who used this technique could maintain their peak power significantly longer during high-intensity efforts. But here's where it gets interesting for the rest of us. You don't need to be chasing Olympic gold to benefit from this principle. That same acid buildup that stops a professional cyclist is what makes you feel winded halfway up a hill or leaves your arms aching after carrying groceries upstairs. The real game changer isn't using this technique before exercise. It's understanding how it can transform your recovery afterward. All that acid sitting in your muscles after activity, that's a major reason why you feel stiff and sore the next day. or even 2 days later. When your body can neutralize and clear that acid more efficiently, you bounce back faster. Instead of needing 2 full days to feel normal after a long walk or working in the garden, you might wake up the next morning ready to go again. This completely changes the game. Exercise stops being this punishing event you dread and becomes something sustainable and enjoyable. And that's how real fitness is built. Not through brutal, infrequent workouts that leave you hobbled, but through consistent, comfortable activity that you can maintain year after year. The beautiful irony is that the same humble white powder your grandmother used for heartburn and cleaning might be one of the most overlooked tools for staying active and energetic as we age. It's not about becoming an athlete. It's about giving your body the chemical support it needs to keep doing the things you love without paying for it with days of discomfort. Your muscles are constantly sending you chemical messages through sensations like burning and fatigue. The question isn't whether you'll experience these signals. You will. The question is whether you'll have the tools to respond to them effectively, allowing you to stay active and engage with life on your own terms. 7. For decades, we've been fighting cancer like we're trying to kill weeds by spraying poison on each individual plant. But what if the real problem isn't the weed itself, but the soil it's growing in? Change the soil, and suddenly those weeds can't take root anymore. Back in the 1920s, a scientist named Otto Warburg won the Nobel Prize for discovering something strange about cancer cells. While your healthy cells are like efficient hybrid cars that use oxygen to create energy, cancer cells act more like gas-guzzling hot rods. They burn through sugar using an old, primitive process called fermentation, even when there's plenty of oxygen around. Now, you might think this makes cancer cells weak and stupid. Actually, it's quite clever. This fast-burning process gives them the raw materials they need to multiply like crazy. But here's the kicker. This process creates lactic acid as waste. Yes, the same stuff that makes your muscles burn during a tough workout. Except cancer cells pump this acid out into the surrounding tissue like they're building an acid moat around their castle. This acid does two nasty things. First, it literally dissolves the healthy tissue around the tumor, clearing a path for cancer spread. Second, it paralyzes your immune cells that are trying to fight the cancer. It's like the tumor creates its own toxic neighborhood where only cancer can survive. Researchers at the Moffitt Cancer Center tested something interesting. They used simple sodium bicarbonate, yes, baking soda, to neutralize this acid shield around tumors in laboratory studies. The results were remarkable. The cancer cells were still there, but they couldn't spread anymore. They lost their main weapon. Now, before you run to your kitchen cabinet, let me be clear. This isn't about drinking baking soda to cure cancer. This is about understanding that your body's internal environment matters more than most people realize. Think about it this way. If you have a garden where the soil is perfect for dandelions, acidic, compacted, low in nutrients, you can pull dandelions all day long, but more will keep popping up. But if you gradually improve that soil, add lime to reduce acidity, aerate it, feed it with good compost, suddenly the grass starts winning and the dandelions struggle. Your body works the same way. When your tissues are chronically acidic from poor diet, stress, and lack of movement, you're essentially fertilizing the soil for problems to grow. But when you eat more vegetables, stay hydrated, move your body regularly, and manage stress, you're slowly changing that internal soil. The most powerful approach isn't hunting down every potential problem in your body. It's creating an internal environment where problems simply can't thrive. It's like being a good gardener instead of a pest control specialist. This principle of acidic environments causing damage shows up in surprising places throughout your body. Even in areas you can see every day, like your mouth, where the same process can cause problems that most people just accept as normal aging. 8. We've all heard the same story about our teeth. Sugar is the enemy. Brush after every meal, floss daily, and avoid sweets. Yet for so many folks, the cavities keep coming, the gums stay sensitive, and those dental bills just keep piling up. It feels like you're fighting a battle you can't win. But what if we've been missing the most important piece of the puzzle? The real problem isn't just the sugar itself. It's what happens after you eat it. Your mouth is home to a whole community of bacteria, kind of like the good and bad bacteria in your gut. When you eat sugar or white bread or crackers, certain troublemaker bacteria like Streptococcus mutans have themselves a feast. As they digest these sugars, they produce acid as waste. This acid is what actually dissolves the minerals right out of your tooth enamel, creating those cavities. It's also what irritates your gums, causing them to bleed and eventually leading to gum disease. Most people's response is to declare all-out war. They reach for those harsh, alcohol-based mouthwashes that promise to kill 99.9% of germs. But here's the thing. This is like using a flamethrower to get rid of ants in your garden. Sure, you'll kill the ants, but you'll also destroy all the beneficial insects that keep your garden healthy. You wipe out everything, including the good bacteria that actually help protect your teeth and gums. And in that acidic wasteland that's left behind, guess which bacteria bounce back first and strongest? The acid-loving troublemakers. You're actually making the problem worse in the long run. There's a completely different way to think about this. Instead of trying to kill everything, what if we just change the environment? Think of your mouth like a garden where the soil has gone sour. The acid is making perfect growing conditions for weeds. Instead of spraying poison everywhere, what if you simply sweeten the soil? This is where something as simple as baking soda becomes a game changer, but not in the way most people think. Forget about using it as a scrub or whitener. Its real power is that it's alkaline, the opposite of acidic. When you rinse with a simple baking soda solution, you instantly neutralize that acid the bacteria are producing. You're not killing anything. You're just taking away the acidic conditions those troublemaker bacteria need to thrive and cause damage. The weeds can't grow, and the good bacteria can flourish. Here's something remarkable that happens next. Your saliva is naturally designed to repair your teeth. It's loaded with calcium and phosphate that it uses to patch up and strengthen enamel that's been weakened by acid. But your saliva can't do its repair job if your mouth stays acidic. The whole process just stops working. When you rinse with baking soda, you create the perfect alkaline environment that lets your saliva get back to work, actively rebuilding and strengthening your teeth. Research in the Journal of the American Dental Association shows just how effectively baking soda neutralizes the acids in plaque, creating ideal conditions for this natural repair process. In medieval Europe, people in certain regions unknowingly stumbled onto this same principle. They used wood ash, which is naturally rich in alkaline potassium carbonate, to clean their teeth. Historical records show these communities had remarkably good dental health compared to their neighbors. They had no idea about pH or bacteria, but they'd accidentally discovered that changing their mouth's chemistry was the key to preventing decay. Tonight, after you brush and floss, here's something simple you can try. Mix about a quarter teaspoon of plain baking soda in a small glass of lukewarm water. Swish it around your mouth for about 30 seconds, then spit it out. Don't rinse with plain water afterward. You want to leave that alkaline environment in place. Pay attention to how your teeth and gums feel in the morning. Many people notice their mouth feels cleaner and their gums less sensitive after just one night. This approach isn't about adding another complicated step to your routine. It's about understanding that sometimes the simplest solutions work because they work with your body's natural systems instead of against them. 9. Picture your bladder lining as a brand new Teflon pan. Smooth, slick, and completely non-stick. When everything's working right, any bacteria that wander and simply can't get a grip, they slide right off and get flushed away with your urine. But here's what most doctors don't tell you. When your urine becomes acidic, that smooth Teflon surface transforms into something more like sticky flypaper. This isn't just a nice analogy, it's exactly what happens at the cellular level. A groundbreaking study in the Journal of Biological Chemistry revealed something fascinating about how E. coli bacteria actually attach to your bladder wall. These bacteria have tiny, hair-like appendages. Think of them as microscopic grappling hooks that they use to grab onto tissue. But here's the kicker. These little hooks work terribly in an alkaline environment. When your urine is alkaline, the bacteria literally can't hold on. They just slide off. We've been approaching UTIs all wrong. Instead of constantly trying to kill the bacteria with antibiotics, we should be making the walls too slippery for them to climb in the first place. It's like the difference between constantly swatting flies and simply removing what attracts them. This is why your grandmother's remedy actually works. At the very first hint of that familiar burning sensation, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water can stop a UTI dead in its tracks. You're not killing anything, you're changing the game entirely. You're switching your bladder from bacteria welcome mode to bacteria slide right off mode. When you make this simple change, something remarkable happens beyond just preventing infection. The constant irritation from bacterial colonies causes ongoing inflammation that makes your bladder tissue even more vulnerable next time. By creating an alkaline environment, you break this cycle completely. Your bladder gets a chance to heal and rebuild its natural, resilient barrier. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. No prescription needed, no side effects, no antibiotic resistance to worry about. You're working with your body's own design, not against it. Many women find that once they understand this principle, they can catch potential UTIs so early that they never develop into full-blown infections. Think about it this way. We've been so focused on the intruder that we miss the obvious solution. Just make sure they can't get a foothold in the first place. It's not about being stronger than the bacteria. It's about being smarter than them. 10. We spend a fortune on creams, lotions, and ointments, all promising to fix what we see in the mirror. We treat eczema, psoriasis, and even those stubborn age spots as if they are invaders from the outside. But what if they aren't? What if your skin is simply a messenger, delivering a critical report about what's happening deep inside your body? Here's a fact that might surprise you. Healthy skin is not alkaline. In fact, its surface needs to be slightly acidic, with a pH around 5.5. This acidity is a brilliant defense mechanism, creating an environment hostile to harmful bacteria and fungi. So, the goal isn't to make your skin's surface alkaline. This is where the story takes a sharp turn. Imagine your skin's surface as a cathedral's stained glass window, which must be slightly acidic to resist weathering and algae. The paradox is that the vibrant, resilient glass itself can only be forged and maintained from a perfectly balanced, alkaline workshop deep within the cathedral. When the internal environment turns acidic, the workshop can no longer produce quality materials. The magnificent window doesn't just get dirty, it begins to crack and crumble from within. This internal acidity places the immune system on a war footing. The skin, with its vast surface area, inevitably becomes the primary battleground for this systemic inflammation. The same principle applies to persistent fungal infections, like athlete's foot or discolored toenails that never seem to clear up. Fungus and yeast thrive systemically in an acidic, low-oxygen environment. What you see on your feet or skin is just the tip of the iceberg, the visible evidence of a much larger internal colony that has found a weak spot to surface. The appearance of age spots is commonly blamed on sun exposure, a convenient explanation that overlooks their true identity. They're localized deposits of a cellular waste product called lipofuscin. More accurately, they're not spots of age, but visible dump sites of metabolic garbage. In a healthy, alkaline system, cellular cleanup crews operate with ruthless efficiency. In an acidic body, these services grind to a halt, and the garbage simply piles up where it's visible. While the real work is internal, you can provide powerful external support. A lukewarm bath with a half cup of baking soda can offer immense relief. It doesn't cure the condition, but it does two things beautifully. First, it soothes the immediate inflammation and itching. Second, it helps to temporarily neutralize the irritating acids on the skin surface that are contributing to the barrier breakdown, giving your skin a chance to breathe. This isn't just folk wisdom. Research has shown how critical the skin's pH is for its barrier function. When that barrier is compromised by internal factors, the skin becomes vulnerable. You're not just soothing a rash. You're helping to restore the very environment your skin needs to protect itself. Tonight, try this simple experiment. Add 1/2 cup of baking soda to a lukewarm bath and soak for 20 minutes. Don't look for a miracle. Simply observe. Pay attention to the sensation. Does the itching calm down? Does your skin feel less angry? This isn't the final answer, but it is a conversation. It's the first step in learning to listen to what your skin has been trying to tell you all along. 11. For decades, we've been told to fear salt like it's poison. Every doctor visit, every health article, every food label screams the same message: sodium will kill you. So when someone mentions using sodium bicarbonate for health, I completely understand the confusion. Wait, isn't that just more sodium? You might ask. This is where we need to clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings in nutrition. Here's what your doctor isn't telling you. When they warn about sodium, they're really talking about table salt sodium chloride. Think of sodium and chloride like dance partners who are always together. For years, we've been blaming sodium for all the problems, but we never looked at its partner, chloride. When you eat table salt, it's actually the chloride that forces your body to hold onto extra water. More water in your blood vessels means higher pressure. It's like overfilling a garden hose. The pressure goes up. But sodium bicarbonate is completely different. It shows up without that troublesome chloride partner. Instead of messing with your water balance, it goes straight to work on something much more important: the acid levels in your body. Think of your blood like a river. Every day, your cells dump acidic waste into this river, like factories dumping sludge. Table salt is like adding more water to push the sludge through with force. Sodium bicarbonate is like adding a cleaning agent that dissolves the sludge itself, so the river flows clean without needing extra pressure. This matters more than you might think. When your blood becomes too acidic, something dangerous happens to your arteries. They start to stiffen up. Healthy arteries should be flexible, like rubber hoses that expand and contract with each heartbeat. But acid blood stops your body from making enough nitric oxide, a crucial chemical that tells your blood vessels to stay relaxed and flexible. Without enough nitric oxide, your arteries become rigid like old brittle pipes. This stiffness alone increases your risk of heart attack and stroke, regardless of your cholesterol numbers. The acid environment also creates chronic inflammation inside your artery walls. This isn't the kind of inflammation you feel. It's a silent, slow burn that damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels and invites plaque to form. A major study in the Journal of the American Heart Association followed thousands of people and found something eye-opening. The more acidic their overall diet, the higher their risk of heart disease. They weren't measuring salt intake. They were measuring how acidic or alkaline the person's entire diet was. When you use sodium bicarbonate, you're not just treating symptoms like high blood pressure. You're changing the fundamental chemistry that allows heart disease to develop in the first place. You're shifting your internal environment from one that promotes disease to one that promotes healing. Now here's something to think about. If small changes in acid levels can do this much damage to the major arteries around your heart, what's happening in the thousands of miles of tiny blood vessels feeding your brain? Those microscopic vessels are even more delicate and sensitive to these chemical changes. The next time you see low sodium on a package, ask yourself, is sodium really the problem, or is it what sodium is paired with? And what exactly are they using to replace the flavor we're missing? 12. Let me share something that might surprise you about those frustrating moments when your mind feels cloudy. You know what I'm talking about? When you walk into a room and forget why you're there, or when a simple word just won't come to you. Most people chalk this up to getting older, but there's actually something much more specific happening in your brain. Your brain cells don't just float around in empty space. They're surrounded by a special fluid, kind of like how fish live in water. This fluid needs to have just the right chemical balance for your brain to work properly. Think of it like this. If the water in a fish tank gets too acidic, the fish can't breathe well. Same thing happens with your brain cells. Here's the key part. Your brain cells talk to each other using chemical messengers. These messengers are shaped like tiny keys that need to fit into specific locks on other brain cells. When the fluid around your brain gets too acidic, even just a little bit, it actually changes the shape of those locks. Suddenly, the keys don't fit anymore. It's like trying to unlock your front door with a key that's been slightly bent. Scientists have proven this isn't just a theory. Research shows that when the area around brain cells becomes acidic, it directly blocks the receptors that help you form new memories and learn new things. The message gets sent, but can't be received properly. That's your brain fog right there. Now, here's something really fascinating that researchers discovered recently. While you sleep, your brain has its own cleaning system. It's like having a night crew that comes in to wash away all the waste products that build up during the day. This includes some of the toxic proteins that researchers link to memory problems as we age. But here's the catch. This cleaning system only works well when the chemistry is right. When things get too acidic, the fluid becomes thicker, almost like trying to rinse something with honey instead of water. The cleaning crew can't do their job properly, and waste starts piling up night after night. This is why some people find that a tiny amount of baking soda before bed helps them think more clearly the next day. I'm talking about just an eighth to a quarter teaspoon in a glass of water, about an hour before you go to sleep. It's not about changing your body's chemistry dramatically. It's about giving your system a little help to maintain the right environment for that crucial nighttime cleanup. Think of it like adding a water softener to help your dishwasher work better. You're not changing how the dishwasher works, you're just making sure the water conditions are right for it to do its job. But here's what's important to understand. This isn't a magic bullet, and it's not right for everyone. If you're taking medications, especially for blood pressure or heart conditions, you need to talk with your doctor first. Some medications don't play well with changes in your body's acid balance. And if you have kidney problems or you're on a low-sodium diet, this approach might not be safe for you. Also, more isn't better here. Some people think if a little bit helps, a lot will help more. That's not how this works. Too much baking soda can actually make things worse and can be dangerous. We're talking about tiny amounts, just enough to support your body's natural balance. The goal isn't to turn your body alkaline. Your body is incredibly good at maintaining its own balance. What we're doing is giving a little support during the overnight hours when your brain is doing its most important maintenance work. Some people notice a difference in just a few days: clearer thinking, better word recall, less of that frustrating tip of the tongue feeling. Others might need a few weeks to see changes. And some people might not notice much difference at all, which is perfectly normal too. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it works with your body's natural systems instead of trying to override them. Your brain already knows how to clean itself and maintain healthy communication between cells. Sometimes it just needs the right environment to do what it does best. Remember, good brain health isn't just about one thing. Getting quality sleep, staying hydrated, eating well, and staying mentally active all play important roles. But making sure your brain has the right chemical environment to function, that's a piece of the puzzle that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. If you decide to try this, start small and pay attention to how you feel. Keep a simple journal of your mental clarity from day to day. And always check with your healthcare provider first, especially if you have any ongoing health conditions or take regular medications. Your brain is remarkably resilient and has an amazing ability to maintain and repair itself when given the right conditions. Sometimes the simplest approaches can make the biggest difference in how sharp and clear you feel every day. 13. Your body isn't just passively collecting toxins like dust on a shelf. When faced with chemicals it can't immediately process, heavy metals, pesticide residues, industrial compounds, your body makes what seems like a smart decision. It wraps these dangerous substances up and locks them away in the least active tissue it can find, your fat cells. Think of it as emergency damage control, storing hazardous materials in the basement to protect the more important rooms upstairs. But here's the problem. This basement storage doesn't come with an expiration date. These intelligently quarantined toxins become silent chemical time bombs sitting in your body. The real issue isn't that these toxins are there. It's that they become biologically invisible. Once locked away in fat tissue, they're not just physically isolated, they're chemically hidden. The acidic environment around fat cells creates an electrical charge that essentially handcuffs these toxins to the tissue. They can't enter your bloodstream, which means your liver's detox system, even when working perfectly, simply can't see them. It's like having a security guard who's excellent at his job, but he's been locked out of the building. Your liver's detox process happens in two phases. Phase 1 breaks toxins down, but sometimes this actually makes them more dangerous temporarily. The crucial step is phase 2, where your liver attaches a molecule to the broken down toxin, making it harmless and water-soluble so it can leave your body. But here's what most people don't know. The enzymes that drive this vital second phase work poorly in acidic conditions. More importantly, they need the toxins to actually be available in the bloodstream to work on them in the first place. This is where changing your body's chemistry becomes a game changer. When you shift toward a more alkaline environment, you're essentially changing the electrical charge of both the fat tissue and the toxins themselves. Those chemical handcuffs get unlocked. The toxins that have been hiding for years suddenly get released back into circulation, transforming from biologically unavailable to biologically available. Now your liver can finally see them and do what it does best. Scientists discovered this principle in extreme circumstances. Researchers studying uranium exposure, uranium being a heavy metal that can seriously damage kidneys, found something remarkable. When they gave sodium bicarbonate to exposed subjects, uranium excretion increased dramatically. The bicarbonate didn't add some new detox system. Instead, it changed the chemistry enough to make the uranium grabbable by the body's existing elimination processes. This same principle works for everyday toxins we've all been exposed to over decades. The pesticides on food, the chemicals in cleaning products, the industrial compounds in our environment, they've all been using your fat cells as hiding spots. When you create the right chemical environment, you're not adding new detox machinery. You're simply making the machinery you already have dramatically more effective. For those wanting to support this process gently, try adding half a cup of baking soda to a warm foot bath and soaking for 20 minutes before bed. The skin on your feet is highly porous, and this gives your body a way to gradually shift its chemistry without the concerns that come with taking anything internally, especially if you're on medications. As your body slowly releases these chemical irritants that have been stored away for years, you might notice changes in your energy and overall sense of well-being. But the effects go deeper than that. When you reduce the constant, low-level interference from these stored chemicals, other systems in your body can finally operate in the quiet environment they were designed for. This is especially true for the deep, restorative processes that should happen naturally when you sleep. 14. You followed all the sleep rules: dark room, cool temperature, no screens before bed. Yet you still wake up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing or toss and turn for hours. Here's what most people don't realize. The real problem isn't in your bedroom environment. It's happening inside your body at the chemical level. When your body's tissues become even slightly acidic, it triggers a cascade of problems that directly sabotage your sleep. Your body interprets this acidity as a low-level emergency signal. This keeps your stress hormone cortisol elevated when it should be dropping for the night. High cortisol at bedtime directly blocks your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. This is why you might feel wired and alert when you should feel drowsy, or why you wake up suddenly in the middle of the night feeling anxious for no apparent reason. Think of it this way. Your body has an internal alarm system that's supposed to quiet down at night. But when your tissues are acidic, that alarm keeps going off at a whisper level. It's not loud enough to make you fully alert, but it's enough to prevent deep, restorative sleep. This also explains those sudden, painful leg cramps that jolt you awake. During the day, your muscles produce acidic waste from normal movement. If your body can't neutralize and clear this acid efficiently, it builds up in your muscle tissue. This acidic environment makes your muscle fibers jumpy and prone to sudden, violent contractions. It's not about being low on magnesium or potassium. It's about having too much acid irritating your muscle cells. The solution doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated routines. About an hour before bed, try dissolving a tiny pinch of baking soda, just 1/8 of a teaspoon, in a small glass of water and drink it. This isn't about changing your body's overall pH, which your kidneys and lungs regulate very tightly. Instead, it provides a gentle buffer that helps neutralize the acidic waste that's accumulated during the day. This small step can help quiet that internal chemical alarm, allowing your cortisol to drop naturally and your melatonin to rise. Your muscles can fully relax without acidic irritation, and your brain's overnight cleaning system can work efficiently to clear out metabolic waste. Many people notice the difference within a few nights, falling asleep more easily, staying asleep longer, and waking up feeling actually refreshed instead of groggy. The key is consistency and starting with a very small amount. Your body will tell you if this simple adjustment is helping your sleep quality improve. 15. You're working in your garden when a wasp lands on your arm and stings you. That sharp, burning pain hits immediately, followed by swelling. Here's what most people don't know. Wasp venom contains formic acid, the same stuff that makes ant bites burn. Your instinct might be to grab ice, but you need to fight chemistry with chemistry. Mix a thick paste of baking soda with just a few drops of water. Apply it directly to the sting site. The sodium bicarbonate neutralizes that formic acid on contact, stopping the chemical reaction that causes the intense burning. This isn't some old wives' tale. It's basic acid-base chemistry happening right on your skin. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Not all stings are the same. Some hornets actually inject alkaline venom, not acidic. For those, baking soda won't help much. But regular wasps, bees, and fire ants, they're pumping acid into you. And that's where our kitchen remedy shines. Let's talk about something you might encounter hiking: stinging nettles. Those innocent-looking plants pack a punch. When you brush against them, tiny hairs inject formic acid and histamine under your skin. The burning sensation can last for hours. That same baking soda paste works here too, but for a double reason. It neutralizes the formic acid and creates an alkaline environment that helps calm the histamine reaction. For cuts and scrapes, especially when you're away from proper first aid supplies, baking soda offers something different than harsh antiseptics. Hydrogen peroxide actually damages healthy tissue while it kills germs. A gentle rinse with baking soda solution, about a teaspoon in a cup of clean water, creates an environment where harmful bacteria struggle to multiply. Research shows it disrupts biofilm formation by staph bacteria. You're not sterilizing the wound. You're making it harder for germs to establish themselves while your immune system does its job. Here's a scenario many people face. You splash toilet bowl cleaner on your arm. After flushing with water for 15 minutes, which you absolutely must do first, you can follow up with a baking soda rinse. Quarter cup in a basin of cool water. This helps neutralize any acidic residue that water alone might miss, potentially reducing the severity of chemical burns. Even something as common as poison ivy follows this same principle. That maddening itch comes from urushiol oil, which creates an acidic inflammatory response on your skin. A cool bath with a cup of baking soda dissolved in it doesn't just feel soothing. It actually neutralizes those irritating oils and calms your skin's overactive immune response. The key with all these applications is understanding the chemistry. Baking soda works because it's alkaline and it neutralizes acids. But concentration matters enormously. A paste for a sting is safe. A strong solution in your mouth or eyes could cause serious damage. And if you're taking heart medications or have kidney problems, even topical use needs careful consideration because your body absorbs small amounts through the skin. Think of baking soda as a chemical fire extinguisher for acid-based problems. It's incredibly effective when used correctly, but like any powerful tool, it demands respect and understanding. The difference between relief and harm often comes down to using the right amount in the right situation. 16. Two people with identical symptoms both try baking soda. One feels energized within days. The other ends up dizzy and confused. The difference isn't the baking soda itself. It's a crucial personal data point they ignored. Your body speaks in chemical signals, and learning to read them is more important than following any recipe. Most people grab pH test strips, see a slightly acidic reading, and start dumping large amounts of baking soda into water, chasing that perfect alkaline number. This approach is like trying to balance a precision scale by throwing weights on one side. You'll tip it completely over. The goal isn't forcing your body into some ideal alkaline state. Your body already knows how to balance itself. You're simply providing gentle buffering support so it can do its job without fighting constant acid overload. Start by testing your first morning urine pH for 3 days before changing anything. Why first morning? After 8 hours of cellular cleanup and waste processing, your urine shows the net acid load your body handled overnight. You can find pH test strips at any drugstore. Don't expect blood pH levels of 7.4. That's impossible and dangerous for urine. A healthy range for morning urine runs between 6.5 and 7.5. Let's say your 3-day average comes out to 6.0. This signals mild chronic acidity. Now you have real data to work with. Timing matters enormously. For systemic issues like joint stiffness or general fatigue, take small doses on an empty stomach, either first thing in the morning or right before bed. This allows quick absorption into your bloodstream. Never take it with meals. You'll neutralize the stomach acid you need for proper digestion. Forget fixed amounts. Think feedback loop instead. Start with 1/8 teaspoon in a full glass of water. Continue this for 3 days while testing your morning urine. Did your pH move up to 6.2 or 6.4? Perfect. You found your responsive dose. Stay right there. No change. Consider a tiny increase to 1/4 teaspoon. Make one small adjustment, then observe for several days before changing anything else. Here's where things get serious. Changing your body's pH is like changing soil chemistry. Some plants thrive, while others wither. Many medications work differently depending on your body's chemical environment. A tiny pH shift can accidentally turn a standard drug dose into a dangerous overdose. Picture someone taking carefully measured blood pressure medication. They start an aggressive, alkalizing routine without medical supervision. Suddenly, their medication becomes much more potent because their body isn't clearing it as quickly. The result could be dangerous drops in blood pressure, dizziness, or fainting. When testing your morning urine, take the midstream portion. The first and last parts might be contaminated. Dip the strip for exactly 1 second, then compare to the color chart within 15 seconds. Wait longer and oxidation throws off your reading. Your personalized approach isn't just about pH numbers. Consider your complete health picture. Are you taking any medications? Do you have kidney or heart conditions? The same routine that helps one person's joint pain could create serious problems for another. Before buying your first box of baking soda, buy a notebook and pH test strips. Spend 1 full week just gathering data. What's your baseline pH? How does it change after stressful days or particularly healthy meals? This observation phase teaches you your body's natural patterns. Some people notice changes within days. Others need weeks of consistent, gentle adjustment. Your body's response speed depends on how long you've been dealing with chronic acidity, your overall health, and how well your kidneys and lungs are functioning. Remember that your kidneys and lungs are your primary pH regulators. If they're working well, small amounts of baking soda provide helpful support. If they're compromised, even small amounts can overwhelm their capacity and create dangerous imbalances. The most important skill you can develop is patience. Your body didn't become acidic overnight, and it won't rebalance overnight either. Gentle, consistent support over time beats aggressive intervention every single time. Keep detailed records of how you feel, your energy levels, sleep quality, and any symptoms. This data becomes invaluable for fine-tuning your approach. Some people find their sweet spot at 1/8 teaspoon every other day. Others need 1/4 teaspoon daily. Your body will tell you what works if you listen carefully. This methodical approach protects you from the 2 biggest mistakes people make: taking too much too fast or giving up too quickly because they don't see immediate dramatic changes. Real healing happens gradually, and the most sustainable improvements come from working with your body's natural systems rather than trying to override them. 17. Here's the most dangerous thing about baking soda that nobody talks about. It can silently sabotage medications you depend on. Take aspirin. Millions of people pop a baby aspirin every day for their heart. What they don't know is that aspirin needs an acidic environment to work properly. When you alkalize your body with baking soda, you're literally flushing that aspirin out of your system before it can protect you. A study in clinical pharmacology and therapeutics proved this decades ago. When your urine becomes alkaline, Your kidneys dump salicylates, that's the active ingredient in aspirin, up to 5 times faster. You think you're protected against heart attack and stroke, but you've unknowingly disabled your own safety net. This gets worse with other medications. If you're taking lithium for mood disorders, the sodium in baking soda forces your kidneys to clear lithium faster too. Your blood levels drop below therapeutic range, and you're looking at a potential psychiatric crisis. One woman in Denver learned this the hard way when her bipolar symptoms returned after she started a daily baking soda routine her neighbor recommended. Then there's tetracycline and similar antibiotics. They need stomach acid to dissolve properly. Take baking soda within 2 hours of your antibiotic, and you might as well throw those pills in the trash. You're fighting an infection with half-strength ammunition. But here's where it gets really scary. Some people have a condition called hypoparathyroidism. Their bodies can't regulate calcium properly. When baking soda makes their blood too alkaline, calcium binds to proteins and becomes unavailable to muscles and nerves. The result? Severe muscle spasms called tetany and sometimes seizures. For these folks, a teaspoon of baking soda isn't a health remedy. It's a trip to the emergency room. Your body will warn you when things go wrong, but the signs are subtle at first. You might feel tingling in your fingertips or around your lips. Maybe muscle twitches that feel like tiny electric shocks. As alkalosis worsens, you get lightheaded, confused, or nauseous. These aren't detox symptoms. These are emergency signals that your body's chemistry is dangerously off balance. If you have congestive heart failure, even a small amount of extra sodium can tip you over the edge. Your body retains fluid, your legs swell, and suddenly you're gasping for breath. Your heart, already struggling, now has to pump against extra fluid volume. It's like asking someone with a broken leg to carry a heavy backpack. People with kidney disease face a different nightmare. Their kidneys can't handle the sodium load or regulate pH properly. What should be a simple filtering job becomes an impossible task, leading to dangerous electrolyte imbalances that can affect everything from your heartbeat to your brain function. So how do you talk to your doctor about this? Don't walk in announcing you're using kitchen ingredients to manage your health. That's a recipe for eye rolls and dismissal. Instead, be smart about it. Say something like, "Doctor, I've been reading about dietary acid load and its effects on health. Given that I'm taking these medications, are there any foods or supplements that could interfere with how they work? I want to make sure any dietary changes I make are safe." This approach shows you're responsible and respect their expertise. You're asking for partnership, not challenging their authority. Most doctors will appreciate your thoughtfulness and give you the guidance you need. The bottom line is this: baking soda isn't just a harmless kitchen ingredient when you're using it medicinally. It's a powerful chemical that can interact with medications and medical conditions in ways that could put your health at serious risk. Respect it, understand it, and always check with someone who knows your complete medical picture before you start experimenting with your body's chemistry. 18. Picture this. While researchers debate whether Okinawans live longer because of their purple sweet potatoes or their strong social bonds, they're missing something hiding in plain sight. Both Okinawa and the remote Hunza Valley in Pakistan share an invisible advantage that has nothing to do with diet or lifestyle. It's written in the rocks beneath their feet. Okinawa sits on ancient coral reefs. Every drop of rainwater filters through this limestone foundation, picking up calcium carbonate along the way. The result? Naturally alkaline, mineral-rich water flowing from every tap. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in the Hunza Valley, glaciers grind down mountains into a fine, mineral-loaded powder that locals call glacial milk. Their water isn't crystal clear like ours. It's cloudy with suspended rock particles that deliver a steady stream of calcium, magnesium, and bicarbonate minerals with every sip. These people aren't taking supplements. They're living inside one giant natural mineral supplement system. This pattern shows up everywhere once you know what to look for. For centuries, Europeans flocked to mineral springs in places like Vichy, France. Doctors actually prescribed these naturally carbonated, sodium bicarbonate-rich waters for digestive problems and metabolic disorders. This wasn't some spa vacation trend. It was legitimate medical treatment using nature's own alkaline therapy. Even more fascinating is what many Native American tribes figured out long ago. They ate specific types of clay, particularly bentonite clay. Sounds bizarre until you understand the science. These clays carry a powerful negative electrical charge that acts like a magnet in your digestive system. Positively charged toxins, acids, and waste products get pulled right to the clay, neutralized, and carried out of your body before they can cause inflammation. It's like having a natural detox system running 24/7. Here's what really matters. None of these cultures were trying to alkalize themselves. They didn't have pH test strips or chemistry textbooks. Their exceptional health was simply a side effect of living in environments that naturally buffered their bodies against acid buildup. We've done the exact opposite. Our filtered water strips out minerals. Our processed foods create acid. Our stress levels spike cortisol, which also increases acidity. We've engineered the natural buffers right out of our daily lives. But here's the good news. You don't need to move to a coral island or drink glacier water to get these benefits. You just need to understand what these environments were providing and recreate it in your own kitchen. Start simple. Check your local water quality report online. Most cities publish this information. Look for the mineral content, especially calcium and magnesium levels. If your water is soft or heavily filtered, you're missing out on natural minerals that could be supporting your health every day. Many people are surprised to learn that hard water, the kind that leaves spots on dishes, is actually associated with lower rates of heart disease in multiple studies. Those annoying mineral deposits on your faucet, they're the same beneficial minerals that could be supporting your cardiovascular system. The key insight from all these long-lived populations isn't complicated. They had consistent, daily exposure to natural alkaline minerals through their environment. You can create this same advantage by making informed choices about your water, understanding which foods naturally support alkaline balance, and occasionally using targeted supplements when your environment falls short. The difference between thriving and just surviving often comes down to these small, consistent environmental factors that compound over decades. These centenarian communities stumbled onto this advantage by geography. You can achieve it by design. 19. The most successful aging happens when you stop thinking about individual supplements and start thinking about systems. Your body runs on 3 interconnected cycles that determine how well you age: your energy cycle, your repair cycle, and your detox cycle. Your energy cycle starts the moment you wake up. Instead of reaching for coffee, try this: 1 glass of room temperature water with half a lemon squeezed in. Add a pinch of sea salt. This combination does something specific. It signals your adrenal glands to produce cortisol naturally instead of forcing them with caffeine. You'll feel more alert within 20 minutes, and this alertness lasts longer because it's working with your body's natural rhythm, not against it. For breakfast, think about mineral density instead of calories. Your bones lose about 1% of their density each year after age 50. The foods that reverse this aren't dairy products, they're dark leafy greens. A handful of spinach in your morning eggs provides more absorbable calcium than a glass of milk. The magnesium in the spinach helps your body actually use the calcium instead of just passing it through. Your repair cycle happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is when your liver processes toxins and your brain clears out cellular waste. Most people sabotage this process without knowing it. Eating within 3 hours of bedtime forces your liver to digest food instead of cleaning house. Your brain's cleanup system, called the glymphatic system, only works efficiently when you're in deep sleep. Late meals keep you in lighter sleep stages. Here's what works better. Finish eating by 7 p.m. At 9 p.m., take a quarter teaspoon of baking soda in water. This isn't about digestion, it's about pH. Your brain's cleanup system works best in a slightly alkaline environment. Most people's bodies become acidic throughout the day from stress and food. The baking soda helps restore the pH your brain needs for optimal waste removal. Your detox cycle runs 24/7 but peaks during sleep. Your kidneys filter about 50 gallons of blood daily. They work more efficiently when your body maintains proper mineral balance. The standard American diet creates mineral imbalances that force your kidneys to work overtime. Processed foods are loaded with sodium but lack potassium. This ratio stresses your kidneys and raises blood pressure. The fix is simpler than most people think. Add one food high in potassium to every meal. A medium banana has 400 milligrams. Half an avocado has 500 milligrams. A cup of cooked spinach has 800 milligrams. Your kidneys need about 4,700 milligrams of potassium daily to function optimally. Most Americans get less than half that amount. Your circulation determines how well these three cycles work together. Poor circulation means nutrients don't reach your cells and waste products don't get removed efficiently. The best circulation booster isn't exercise, it's temperature contrast. End your daily shower with 30 seconds of cold water. This causes your blood vessels to contract and then dilate rapidly, improving circulation throughout your body. Cold exposure also activates brown fat, which burns calories to generate heat. Adults have brown fat deposits around their neck and shoulders. Regular cold exposure increases brown fat activity, which improves metabolism and helps maintain healthy weight as you age. Sleep quality determines everything else. Your body produces growth hormone during deep sleep. This hormone repairs muscle tissue, strengthens bones, and keeps your skin elastic. Growth hormone production drops by about 15% each decade after age 30. You can't stop this decline, but you can optimize the conditions for maximum production. Your bedroom should be completely dark and between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Light exposure during sleep suppresses melatonin production, which reduces growth hormone release. Room temperature above 70 degrees prevents your body from reaching the deep sleep stages where growth hormone peaks. Track your progress with simple measurements. Check your resting heart rate each morning before getting out of bed. A healthy resting heart rate for adults is 60 to 80 beats per minute. As your circulation improves and stress decreases, your resting heart rate should gradually lower. Monitor your energy levels throughout the day. Rate your energy from 1 to 10 at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. for 1 week. Healthy aging means stable energy levels without dramatic peaks and crashes. If you're doing everything right, your energy should stay between 6 to 8 throughout the day. The difference between people who age well and those who don't isn't genetics, it's consistency. These aren't dramatic interventions. They're small daily choices that compound over months and years. Your body has remarkable healing capacity at any age, but it needs the right conditions to activate that capacity. Start with one change and stick with it for 2 weeks before adding another. Your body needs time to adapt to new patterns. The people who succeed long-term are those who build sustainable habits, not those who try to change everything at once.